7, have a break in the case of a double in Miramar.
2 people now behind bars, including a South Florida rapper.
That's right, and take a look here. Just moments ago, we obtained this rapper's mugshot from the Broward County Jail. Local 10 news cameras were rolling back in October outside the Miramar Memorial Hospital emergency room. Detectives say the 2 arrived here in this 2018 Jeep, the back windshield appearing to be up.
The upcoming YNW Melly retrial has now been delayed till 2027 due to YNW Bortlen snitching. It begins when it was announced YNW Melly's double retrial has now been postponed once again. During a hearing on Friday, August the 8th, the 4th District Court of Appeals granted a stay in the case, allowing time to consider a motion by the state's attorney office. The stay means the trial will not begin in September and has been pushed back to January 2027. With the trial delayed, they are making a deal with YNW Bortlen, which is why they need over a year to confirm it all. The news wrote, a no communication order has been filed in the YNW Melly trial. The order makes Melly and Bortlen completely separate, no talking, no lawyer talk, just silence, as the prosecutors are forcing Bortlen to snitch by trying YNW Melly and him together at the next trial.
Issue here, and you can try them together. It is to the benefit of the state to try them together. It's just more efficient. You don't have to do things again and again, do it all at once. And also you get a better chance of having them incriminate each other during the trial. It benefits the defense to sever it. That way they can point the finger at each other and get away with it. So this is what's going on. But I don't think it should be automatically severed because the state is seeking a penalty for Melly, because it's only the penalty phase of the trial that would be different, not the guilt phase. The guilt phase is the same. They're both capital crimes. You're seeking the penalty on one, not the other, but that goes into the second part of the trial, the penalty phase, only if Melly is found guilty.
Having YNW Bortlen on their side will leave Melly found guilty in the next trial due to him being able to validate all of the evidence against Melly, as this was all confirmed when the judge announced Melly will be tried with Bortlen in the next trial.
Mr. Henry is going to remain set for trial September the 10th at 9 o'clock with Mr. Demmons, pending whatever future motion that I may hear. I'm in another capital case right now. I have 4 hearing dates left available between now and September the 10th. I gave the parties those 4 dates, and I'm holding all of those dates and times open only for these 2 defendants. So anything that you need me for, okay? Yes, sir.
As the news wrote, at the beginning of Wednesday's hearing, Judge Martin Fiend, Bortlen's attorney, said, so Mr. Haddad, for the time being, Mr. Henry will remain set for trial with YNW Melly, confirming that they will be tried together, even though it's going to be at a later date. If Bortlen knows that he didn't commit this crime, he won't physically be able to sit there and take life in prison just because he's YNW Melly's best friend, making it very likely he'll then point the finger against Melly, just like Melly did against him in the first trial. Now, what you didn't know is Melly and Bortlen have not talked to each other in over a few years. Ever since Melly's lawyer tried pinning this against Bortlen in the first trial, they are not even friends anymore.
Those were his lies. Cortland Henry shows up at Memorial Hospital, Miramar. You don't see him sitting there, but where you will see him sitting is in the driver's seat of a car with 2 bodies, a car riddled with bullets. And when he shows up with a change of clothing, change of shirt, powder residue on his hands, evidencing that he had discharged a firearm. And he lies. He lies about where the incident occurred. He lies about how it occurred. And he lies about not having a phone. I think it was Miss Bradley herself who said, everybody has a phone in his pocket, not Cortland Henry.
As that was YNW Melly's own lawyer, that it was YNW Bortlen that had been lying to the feds. Bortlen was the one with powder residue on his hands, and he was the last one with juvie and sack chaser when they passed away. They even went as far as to bringing a forensic scientist that covered the passings to go into further detail of Bortlen being the guilty one.
So the right hand of Cortland Henry contained 0 particles characteristic of residue and 2 component particles. and the left hand contained one particle characteristic of shot residue and one two-component particle.
Okay. And can you explain to us what that means?
Basically, overall, there was shot residue present on the hands.
As it would be this moment where YNW Bortlen would cut ties with YNW Melly. When Melly's mistrial was granted, a report shared, YNW Bortlen tweets a mysterious message on the same day Melly's mistrial was declared, where the tweet reads, "Mind games don't work on people like me," alongside a handshake emoji as if he's accepting a deal. Now, what's very concerning about this is Bortlen has every reason to snitch against Melly now because of what was found in YNW Bortlen's home.
Melly's co-defendant YNW Bortlen was booked into a Miami jail Monday night and is being held behind bars on an out-of-county warrant. We just confirmed the warrant is out of Broward County for witness tampering. The warrant obtained by Law and Crime Network states as follows. On or about April 10, 2023, continuing through and including July 22, 2023, Cortland Henry, aka Bortlen, along with others, did unlawfully and knowingly engage in misleading conduct toward another person with the intent to cause or induce them to withhold testimony. The warrant continues the alleged witness had been summoned by the legal process to the jury trial of Jamel Dimmons, aka YNW Melly. The dates in the warrant are important. Jury selection for Melly started in mid-April, and a judge declared a mistrial on July 22nd, the same day the warrant claims Bortlen allegedly tampered with the witness.
As it was announced, here are the images of alleged notes discovered during the home raid of YNW Bortlen's home, as there was photos of Bortlen drawing out on a piece of paper where certain jurors were sitting in the Melly trial with a description of what they looked like. Mind you, he drew all of these before Melly's lawyers went out and practically snitched on him, which really makes it look like YNW Bortlen was getting ready to slide for YNW Melly on these jurors if they found his best friend guilty of the crime.
To keep it real, this is sloppy. Bortlen, how the f you gonna have the notebook of the jurors in your house? Holy sh! Like, come the f on. It's like doing a and having the surveillance tape in your DVD player or something like that. You know what I mean? Like, come on, bro. Like they raid your crib and the surveillance footage of the is in your DVD player. They be like, oh, okay, thank you, brother. This can't be at your crib.
But here's where it gets even more concerning for Melly, and let me explain. YNW Bortlen will be able to validate all of this new evidence that the prosecutors want to use against Melly. There's one piece of evidence that they really want to use, which is this Facebook post of Melly and Young Thug together. They're trying to say that Melly is a part of the Red Street team, just like Young Thug is.
Same thing, the use of the slap term, 5-point star, snake. He's saying he's YSL, he's hanging with him, and he puts up his YNW for life hashtag on it with Mr. Demons has the big B hand signs displayed.
Right, and see with individuals again, I'm assuming that's also Young Thug. That's also unknown.
Yes.
Also important to your investigation, correct?
Yes.
Also publicly available for anyone to see and capture.
As YNW Melly even made an effort inside a court trying to tell his lawyers just let them use it, because he knows that YNW Bortlen will just validate the evidence anyway, as he knows he already made a deal. The news wrote, today's hearing marks the first time Melly publicly went against his legal team's advisement in open court, where Melly is seen yelling at his lawyers, making sure they know the evidence is gonna be validated either way.
Yes, sir.
Against our advice, our client wants to proceed.
You objected to their request for me to determine this automatic stay.
Based upon what our client has instructed us, yes, sir.
For people inside of the courtroom would then overhear what Melly was saying, where he would say, and quote, "I don't care, I'm not in no gang, they can't prove it."
I'm aware that 924-071 call for an automatic stay while
they were aggravators. They go to membership in a gang. There are things that the jury would have to find before going into penalty.
Not aggravator, that's the death penalty. Aggravator, that's the enhancement itself, Your Honor. That was charged. He was charged in committing the for the further which is an aggravator in terms of the guilt.
Something that they would have to find by way of an interrogatory.
Yes.
Well, they also want to use this new evidence from an ex-O Block member that also snitched out YNW Melly, which was a secret that King Von told him. Now, before King Von passed away and Melly was arrested, the two were great friends. King Von told this O Block member that YNW Melly was asking him for advice on how to deal with people, meaning getting them gone.
Did Von really tell you that Melly told him that he was two friends?
He ain't come out and say, like, we got into an argument. And so, you know, if you know, when people could say something without saying it. And so he told me, like, once I posted what I posted, Von was mad at me. Bro, why you put up there, bro? Walter Bam. I'm like, you sitting up here, like, you know the love we got. You do this for us, but you gonna trust that his two friends? And he said, them was trying to extort him. And so I'm like, if they was trying to extort him, then why are you still around them?
Now, they will have 2 years to make this evidence usable, and if they do, YNW Melly will be sentenced to life. But what's even worse for Melly is this isn't his only case, which is facing a life sentence. If you haven't been keeping up with the YNW Melly trial, it's important to know he has another charge of life in prison. The only reason he wasn't found guilty in the first trial was due to his ex-girlfriend Mariah Hamilton escaping the United States and not testifying against him. Well, just a month ago, she just tried getting back into the country.
Mariah Hamilton is spending her first day at the Broward County Jail. She has no arrest record until now. U.S. Border Patrol agents arrested her at Miami International Airport Monday after she arrived on an international flight. Court records show Hamilton was ordered to testify in Demon's first trial in 2023.
Mariah Hamilton would be immediately arrested when returning to the United States. She did not have a great time inside a jail, which is why when she showed up for her first court hearing, the judge made her a deal, saying if you agree to testify against Melly, tell the truth about everything, you're free to go. She accepted it instantly. This is terrible news for Melly. She even wrote on Facebook, "To my village, thank you to my village. I love you all so much. God's plan, not mine." All she has to do is confirm the concerning evidence that was found in her iCloud account, which is showing Melly forcing her to not testify in trial, which is known as witness tampering. Then Melly will be sentenced to life in prison.
The state filing 6 new charges against Demons and 2 others who were allegedly involved. The charges include tampering with a witness, directing the activities of a criminal, solicitation or conspiracy to commit tampering, and unlawful use of a two-way communication device. Now, a couple of those charges actually carry a life in prison sentence if there's a conviction.
The witness tampering case is separate from YNW Melly's existing case of Sack Chaser and Juvie's passing. Now, there is a real world where Melly could be found innocent in the case of Juvie and Sack Chaser passing, but if Mariah can confirm all the text messages of Melly forcing her to not testify, he will then go to prison for the rest of his life.
Are now charged with witness tampering. There was this kind of crazy way that Melly was communicating. He wasn't allowed to use the phone, but he was passing notes to people, and then this person's calling this person and then that person.
Saying like to me, they going through extreme measures, trying to cover up or convince people not to testify, like Mariah mom. They was using code words like Rihanna and A$AP Rocky's baby mom. And
due to Melly witness tampering with the jail phones, he hasn't been allowed to use a phone for over a year now. It got so bad that his mother, Jamie King, even did an interview exposing the county jail for not allowing her son to use a phone or even look at his own mail.
My son has not been convicted of anything, and even other inmates that have been convicted or anything, they have the right to use a telephone. They have a right to just to be allowed to write letters to their loved ones, to receive their mail. They hold his mail, they don't give it to him.
But if the evidence is true that Melly was using the jail phone to commit witness tampering, then that's why they haven't allowed him. And they definitely have the evidence stored away. They wouldn't just keep Melly off of the phones if they didn't have the evidence to prove it, or else it would result in a massive multi-million-dollar lawsuit. Due to all of this, Jamie King revealed she's absolutely heartbroken for her son. She feels so helpless because he's not even being treated like a human.
When you saw Melly's statement, just saying how he's been hurt, how he's scared for his life, as a mother, how did that make you feel?
It's heartbreaking. It made me feel completely helpless. Broward Sheriff's Office definitely needs to be investigated. I mean, they are making up their own rules. We've tried to go to court about this situation. The judge really doesn't have any jurisdiction when it comes to the jail, because we actually had a hearing about the mistreatment of him, and the jail they make their own rules. And I don't think that's fair, because I know that they need to answer to someone too.
This would get a lot of media attention, especially from people in the rap industry. Charleston White would react, saying that this is what YNW Melly should be living like. He shouldn't get special treatment because he's a rapper, especially if he used jail phones to commit witness tampering.
Even the YNW Melly, I'm so happy he in jail getting mistreated. Yeah, I'm so happy he in jail getting mistreated, homie. Homie, when you take a life, homie, you ain't got a right to complain about a motherfucking thing about being mistreated when you done chose to play somebody.
But it would also get the attention of rap OG Boosie, who would speak on the stress Jamie King has been going through, as his own mother went through a similar experience.
Okay, so
then I met his mama while he was in.
Oh, okay.
I met his mom while he was in, and she real, bro. You know, she real.
She's stressed out. I heard she had a.
Yeah, she real, and I reached my hand out to him, cause I'm real. Yeah, I reached out to him, bro. I met his mom, and she a good woman, bro. And when I see them mamas like that, it remind me of what my mom was going through, bro.
However, Melly did have a huge win inside of court, which could result in him having a release date. To understand when Melly could be released on a bond, it's important to know that an FBI agent took the stand. The FBI agent specializes in cell phone data research. As a report shared, YNW Melly's lawyers questioned an FBI agent that did an analysis on Melly's phone at the time of the crime.
Based on the information, you can't really tell the court precisely which locations these phones are following in, can you?
No, one of the limitations of cellular analysis is that you can only say a general area where the device would be at a given time.
All right. So even with the general analysis, all of the steps that we've gone through for about 4 or 5 hours, at the end of the day, you can never give an exact location.
True.
And could you tell if somebody was walking around a car with the phone? Would you be able to tell that?
No.
So it'd be your testimony that this phone, 9807, could be from here to here, correct?
Yes.
While he shared important information, it was the next topic of conversation where Melly got a huge win. A DNA specialist then took the stand. His job was to go over DNA research on multiple items that were found at the scene of the crime, including items that were found inside of the Jeep they were driving in. As it shares, a DNA analyst confirms Melly's DNA was not found on multiple items that were recovered at the crime scene.
So going to item number 22. The swab from the Gucci sandals. We're able to compare the profile from Mr. Demons as opposed to the profile developed from those sandals.
I did, and he was excluded.
The stain on the front of the t-shirt, item number 23. We're able to compare Mr. Demons' profile to that.
I did a comparison, and he was again excluded.
What about item number 24, the cutting of the stain of the rear of the t-shirt?
After comparisons were done, he was excluded.
Okay, then on item number 25, the swab stain from the Air Jordans.
Again, an exclusion.
Going on to item number 26, the swab from the yellow jacket.
An exclusion as well.
And in terms of the item number 27 and 28, the swabs at the Gatorade bottles. What were the results on that?
Those were both exclusions.
However, Melly's DNA was found on the car door handle, but this is obvious. We all watched him get into the left side of the Jeep, but what's not known is why did Fredo Bang pick up YNW Melly? As the feds would then claim that they have proof that YNW Melly was picked up by rapper Fredo Bang when the crime went down. Then he was dropped off at a nearby house.
And Chris Thomas are So what you're also going to find out is while Mr. Devins is out there on the side of the road, 4 in the morning, 4:42 specifically, he sends a drop pin, digital homing beacon, to his current location to one of his friends, Frederick Givens. Frederick Givens is also involved in the music industry, and he asked to be picked up. Frederick Givens, then about 11 minutes later, is sent another drop pin where Mr. Devins has moved a couple of meters. What you're going to find out as well, though, is these digital leashes, they have more than just phone call.
But this is where it gets terrible for Melly. Bortlen will be able to explain why Fredo did that, but he'll also be able to explain the context of what happened 5 hours after the crime occurred, where YNW Melly sent a text message saying, "I did that."
The PC Gambino account asked him if he was okay, and his response was, "I did that," and placed a smiley face emoji.
And the next message from 10/26/2018 at 16:02 from Eastern Standard Time, the YNW Melly count says what?
After that, SHHHH.
But he would also be able to share exactly why it was announced. The prosecutors updated evidence against Melly. He didn't know that he was filmed admitting to the passing of Juvie and Sack Chaser, where only a few hours after the crime went down, Melly was filmed dancing in a parking lot with YNW Bortlen.
Melly still turned regardless of what happened this early morning. He's still out here being very positive. Turned still. Hey! No, still turned, regardless of what happened. You already know.
Showing not even an ounce of sadness for the passing of their two best friends. Which raises the question, do you believe YNW Melly committed this crime? Comment down below. I want to know exactly what you believe, and leave a like if you're a fan of Melly's music.